I went to her door and I knocked on it. She goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I do that to feed the birds, and my cat loves to play with the birds." I said, "I know what type of bitch you are."
Her cat loves to play with the birds
Yes. And so
before the cat tries to kill the
to
birds,
kill
because
them.
that's what
And
they
so,
do.
and exactly. So I was like, "You're one of them dumb bitches." So she literally feeds the birds sunflower seeds. The sunflower seeds are all over my balcony, and bird shit is all over the railing. And so when Capri goes out to pee, he's like, "What the
So
hell?"
gross.
It's disgusting, Keisha. It's disgusting.
That's unsanitary.
Unsanitary. So you have, and so it's dropping. And so I asked her to please stop. Do you think she stopped? No. I go outside this morning on top of after seeing the sewage. This dumbass there's now at more bird shit. And I'm like, this dumb bitch is still feeding these birds. Why are you feeding birds sunflower seeds? You know what my today I learned is? Today I learned I could snatch a bitch. I could snatch a bitch. Because I don't let me go up there a second time. Don't let it happen.
Hello, welcome to Cross Gen Sisters. I'm Keisha. I'm the older sister.
And hey, y'all, I'm Chantal, the younger sister. Hey, sis.
How's it going? It's rhetorical. You don't have to answer. I actually already know. So let's just get into the chit chat. My eyes are turning against me. It's like overnight they decided, you know what? We're old and you're not going to be able to see anything. I went to the movies. I went to the Alamo with Kirsten a couple weeks ago. You know, the Alamo, at the end, they bring you your bill, and the theater is still kind of dark. They turn on these low level lights, but at the stage in life where I and my eyes are, I can't see, one, because the print is so tiny, and two, because it's dark. And so I'm just, my phone is like 6 feet from my face. I'm trying to read the print. And also, like, I don't want to pull out my phone and turn on the flashlight because it just reminds you of older people who I know. And so my friend Kirsten, she's like, "Do you want me to sign it and fill out the total for you?" And I was like, "Thank you, my friend who is 10 years younger and has better eyes than I do. That's a good friend."
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Keish, our mother's procreation partner has terrible, horrific eyesight. So
I know.
it's hereditary. So
Our cousins, uncle, almost all wear glasses or contacts.
yeah. And you don't wear contacts or glasses, right? You wear contacts?
Yeah, I wear contacts. We
You
didn't all get LASIK.
excuse me. Yeah, I chose vision. Okay. I want to have such good vision. I want to see Jesus, and I do. I see him every morning. So yeah, I think that you should consider LASIK.
Maybe. It's been a long enough time where I would feel more comfortable doing it. It's just expensive.
Not if you get on Groupon like I did.
I don't, I'm glad that worked out for you, but I don't trust that, especially when it comes to medical stuff. Like, I don't want to bargain.
I get it, but it was an esteemed facility. Like, did my thorough research, did my due diligence, and I felt the exact same way. I was like, this is very sketch that you guys are on Groupon, but it was a top rated LASIK surgery centers in Austin when I lived there at the time. And that was almost 10 years ago. Can you believe it? Next year will be 10 years since I had LASIK eye surgery.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, like I have on these glasses right now for like looking at computers, but when I take them off, it's better when I don't have them. I'm just wearing these glasses for like the blue light or whatever you call it, that I can maintain into my later years. So I'm just saying, maybe not look on Groupon if you don't feel comfortable, but I highly recommend considering LASIK because it's the best thing I've ever invested in besides my dog.
Wow.
Yes.
That was a good spiel for LASIK. Maybe I'll look into that for next year. I can't handle any more medical procedures this year. I've started out this year with surgery on both my feet, and the recovery just I never want to have anything done to my feet again. I felt so immobile and loss of independence, and
Yeah. And you live in a city that is not accessible or friendly to those who,
it is not. I am so much more, and I hate to be one of those people who's like, now that this happened to me, I am so much more aware. I was aware of people with physical disabilities in the city before, and always try to be respectful. But now I'm like, ultra aware, whether it's someone who is temporarily walking around in crutches, because oh my gosh, it's one thing to be wearing these thick ass, inflexible surgical shoes. It's another thing to also have to use crutches to get around because the subway sucks for that. You're walking like 8 miles to get to your side of the platform. I could go on, but we got a show to do. How has your weekend been so far?
Oh my goodness. As you said, you know how I am. I had a fire drill this morning at home, not an actual fire drill, which would not surprise me if that also happened. I cannot wait to leave this place, but I've had a very chill weekend. I am very proud to say, before we get to the fire drill that happened at my apartment this weekend, I had the pleasure of participating in the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk, and it was the honor of a lifetime to be able to do that in your honor, Keisha, because you are a breast cancer survivor and you are a warrior, one of the strongest people I know. And so, me and my little pup, we walked in your honor, and it was emotional because I met so many survivors and so many women who are, dealing with the terrible disease. But just to see the women who were 25, 30 years in remission, it was just beautiful to see them in their light and their joy, wearing their tutus and their pink, seeing the little kids wearing, I wear pink for my mom.
Oh,
That made me cry because I saw like a 5-year-old girl who said, I'm here for you, mommy. Her mom gave her this big hug. Her mom had her hair shaved. I was just like, wow, like this affects everyone of all walks of life. You saw people's family members, whether it was their cousin, their teammate, their workmate, being there to support them. It affects people in all walks of life. I was going there to honor you, Keish, but at the same time, I was walking for them. There's this one lady I hugged because she was 25-year survivor. I was like, you have 25 plus. May you have many more years ahead of you. So she got emotional. And it was just a very, very fulfilling experience. That was really, really great.
it's amazing. I'm so touched that you and Capri did that. For the 10 listeners, Capri is a toy Maltipoo. So he's, well, he used to be set like 7 pounds. You said he's gained a couple pounds.
It's like he's between 9 and 10 pounds. He's getting thick.
In any case, he's a little guy. He's got little legs. Looks like a cute little blonde teddy bear. And he did the whole, it was a 5K, right?
No, it was 2K.
2K. I was so proud. I'm proud of both of you. And the pictures were adorable. I loved his little neckerchief that said, it said, I'm walking from my aunt.
I wear pink for my aunt. Yep.
Yeah, it was adorable.
He was the star. I was like, oh my goodness. And I appreciate how people asked, can
Yeah.
I take a picture of your dog? Can I pet your dog? I just appreciate the decency because so many people will go up to Capri and grab him. And I just appreciate the fact that they were being so kind. Yes, Capri was the star of the show, as he normally is.
I mean, he's like a natural model.
He is. And you know his side eyes whenever this one, and he doesn't like kids. He cannot stand children. So
Neither does Ollie.
yeah, and he's like, I'm the only cute little one around here. Back up. Back up. And so this little girl tried to hug him and he barks at her. He just looked at her. I was like, Capri. I was like, okay, enough. He just not like children.
I will say with Ollie, I think in particular, he doesn't like toddlers. I think it's because they have a certain energy that he senses. It's very frenetic. Like, you don't know what the fuck they're going to do. They can go left, they can go right, zigzag, up, down, bounce around. They could jump on you. I think he senses that and he's like, So he will bark. And so I have to be careful if we encounter a toddler because I don't want them to touch him or try to touch him. And I've had like well-mannered toddlers be like, can I pet your doggy? I'm like, you can try, but he's very shy and he's kind of scared of little kids and he's not with it. Anyway, that being said, I never thought that I would be someone that someone else would walk or do any kind of, fundraising walk challenge run in my honor. So it's kind of surreal when you said that you were going to do that. I was very touched. And I don't think I realized just how much my having breast cancer twice impacted the people in my life who care about me.
Mhm.
And, you saying that you did this walk in my honor is like a reminder of how it impacts other people.
Yeah.
And also our sister Natasha, who designed these beautiful resin female body figurines.
Yeah.
And they're like in bikinis with nice bouncy boobs. And she donated them to, I think, breast cancer survivors and people who are still going through it. And someone sent her a really sweet note. I'll see if I can find it and ask her if she's okay with me sharing it, because I thought it was very lovely.
Her resins are gorgeous. Like they're stunning.
Yeah.
The body sculptures she does, I have one in the centerpiece of my living room and it's just gorgeous.
Oh, she said they are very gorgeous. Um, so she sent one woman a breast cancer awareness statue. She said she decorated the box with pink ribbons and tissue paper. She's going to use the proceeds to join and donate to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Awareness Walk in Vegas this year, which is where she
Wow.
lives. And it is super cute. I'll also ask her if I can post it on our socials. And so she got a review and it says, "Hello, I received my package. All I could do is cry. These statues are absolutely amazing. The free gift makes me believe there are still good people in this world. I'm going to put them on display at my breast cancer awareness event on the 16th of October. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Take care."
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very special. But to pivot to the fire drill, I woke up this morning to a disgusting smell. And it turns out my kitchen sink is backed up. And when I went to do the garbage, the sink disposal, it started shooting up like like the 4th of July. And I'm sorry to give you guys that visual, but this is what I had to deal with this morning. And I cannot, in the words of Tokyo Tony, I cannot wait to get the fuck ASAP about here. So yeah, that was my weekend in a nutshell, sis. How was your weekend?
My weekend's been great. Not as naughty as yours. The weather this weekend has been fantastic. There's an account I follow on Instagram. I feel like a weather fangirl following this account because I'm always telling people about it. It's called NY Metro Weather, and it's this man who is, I think he is officially a meteorologist, or he's just a climate enthusiast, and he just started providing weather updates for the New York, New Jersey area. And I found him on Twitter maybe a year or 2 years ago. I was one of, I think maybe like 3,000 followers. And he just would post like the weather in a like one sentence, like, and talk about the vibe. So like the vibes today are good. The dew points are low. You can go outside and walk your dog and be happy. And and he'll give it like a rating out of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. And he said, yesterday was a 10 out of 10. We so rarely get 10 out of 10 days in New York. So it's major. So yesterday, I went to the park with Ollie and our friends Piper and her dog. We walked to Prospect Park, just like, I think like 2 miles, and just hung out in the park, and it was fun. Beautiful day. Dogs loved it.
That sounds like the perfect New York afternoon. I love this for you.
Yeah, we just have, this is the two, if we're lucky, 2 month window where the weather is really good. Like this is my weather. Like 72, there's a gentle breeze. The sun is like behaving itself, not acting like it's out to attack everyone. Yeah. So I'm gonna spend as much time outside the next few weeks as I can.
I love that, sis. Well, that leads me to my next point of let's dig into some hot topics, shall we?
Hot topics. What show is this?
Okay. How you doing? That leads me to my next part of let's start the show with some Today I Learned. Well, I'm up first this week for Today I Learned, and today I learned that McDonald's is coming out with a chicken Big Mac. Did you hear about this?
No. I don't understand. How is it different from like a
So
grilled chicken sandwich or
it literally is just taking a Big Mac and replacing the beef with chicken. And I'm pretty sure this has been done already from those who would like to have this. I just don't understand how this is groundbreaking because if you wanted a chicken Big Mac, all you have to do is ask for a chicken sandwich and a Big Mac and just put the chicken in the Big Mac. I don't understand how this is. They used the popular Twitch streamer. Sorry, I can't talk today. Kai Sanat to promote it, and I was just like, okay, how is this news?
what? I don't think I've ever had a Big Mac. What is special about it?
So it's known because it is three buns, and with three buns, you're putting the meat in between each of the buns, and you're putting lettuce, tomato, pickles, and what's special about
Oh.
Big Mac sauce. And I gotta say, the Big Mac sauce is actually tasty. I remember one of the first times I had a Big Mac sauce, I asked mom if I could have one. She goes, "You're not eating that big ass burger. What do you mean? Like, that's huge." And it was huge, and I couldn't finish it. But the moment that Big Mac sauce touched my lips, it was an experience I don't think I'll ever forget. But when you're little and the day comes and you're able to get, graduate from the kids meal, oh, period, game over. So mom let me get a Big Mac, and I literally will never forget the taste of it. And so I have not had a Big Mac in years because wow, is it a lot of food? Because I don't need all of that. But I think I might go try the chicken Big Mac. I think I might do it. I just will not eat the entire thing because that is excessive. But the Big Mac sauce is really good.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had this. That's just a lot of food. Like
It's a lot.
three buns
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or one and a half buns.
Well, it's three. Well, yeah, what, two and a half buns.
It's one and a half buns, right? You said
Bun. So you need two buns.
top
So
of bun.
top of bun, bottom of bottom of bun, bottom bun. So that's three buns.
That's not three buns. That's one and a half buns.
You mean to tell me that when you have a duo bun, you're calling that a one bun? Or you're calling I think that is one that I think that one top of a bun, that's a one bun.
What does McDonald's call that?
I don't know. They call it the Big Mac.
But how do they describe it?
They don't
Didn't
say
they have like
buns. They say you get a Big Mac. If you are going to make a hamburger, you have two buns. It's not one bun.
okay? So
It,
technically, let's see. Technically, they're both right. They're specified as the top bun, the middle bun, and the bottom bun.
so what I said.
Yeah. So okay, Big Mac, great.
Yeah.
I'm I don't care about this chicken sandwich. Sorry.
I knew you wouldn't, but I do. So I was like, you know what? I love
I'm not I'm not saying like, why are you telling me this? I'm just saying like I'm not gonna go eat it.
I know you wouldn't. You don't even eat McDonald's. And so
What?
you
Since when?
eat McDonald's. I don't think I've seen you eat McDonald's in years. When do you eat McDonald's?
I ate McDonald's with you last Halloween when we came home from that party.
Again, what was that, a year ago? Have you had McDonald's since?
Yes, I actually had McDonald's on Thursday night. I'm not proud of this.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta go to Mickey D's. My version of Mickey D's is Taco Bell. Taco Bell has had me in a chokehold since I was a little girl.
Yes, I'm aware.
Oh, I love me a good Taco Bell. Ah, it will never get old. What did Fergie say? I used to go to Taco Bell drive through raw as hell. I don't care. I'm still real. No matter how many records I sell. Okay. I love me some Taco Bell.
Okay.
So what about you, sis? What did you learn?
Okay. I learned from my rewatch of Modern Family, and maybe you knew this, that The origin of Goop, the name of Gwyneth Paltrow's company, is based on the first initial of her first name and last name. So Gwyneth, G, Paltrow, P, and then she added 2 O's because Peter Amell told her successful internet companies have double O's in their name. And she wanted a name or word that could mean anything or it could mean nothing. So she added the double O between her initials, and that is how she came up with the name Goop. Did you know that?
That's why she came up with that?
Yeah. You're not impressed?
No, but good for her. It's a catchy name, I gotta say. Goop. I think it sounds gross, but it just
It
reminds
does.
me of slime. It reminds me of the Nickelodeon slime. It reminds me of boogers.
Yeah. Ew.
Yeah, goop. That's disgusting. But good for her. She's a billionaire, right? She's like a billionaire, so she's getting her money some way.
Oh, I don't know. I do think she retired from acting, and it's
I mean,
just,
I forgot she was an actress.
yeah. Um, okay. So now that we're both that much more well informed, why don't we move on to Pop and Jen?
Alrighty. First up this week in our Pop and Jen, quick hits. All right, let's do this. Did you hear about the Grand Dame Maggie Smith passed?
And then she's iconic.
She is iconic. It was really sad to hear that.
She was 89, which is a good, I mean, that's a good long life. She had some roles that will look down in history cinematically and whatever the television version of that word is. One of my favorite roles that she's taken on was playing the Dowager Countess, Grandmama on Downton Abbey. She queen of the cutting, biting, shady one-liners. Oh, just fabulous. Love her in that. How about you?
I mean, I love her. I was introduced to her in 2001 in Harry Potter. You know, I'm a Harry Potter girly, so seeing her in that, she was just so endearing and protective of Harry in the movie, and she just seemed like this motherly figure. And she just was just, I know her career spans decades before that, but that's how I was introduced to her. But yeah, she was a delight, and I loved her accent. Like, I know people from the UK, they have all different variations of accents, but hers was just so demanding, and just her presence, and just, yeah. So she had a storied career, and may she rest in peace. One thing I will say, people really grind my gears when they say gone too soon, when it comes to someone who was like 95. Like when James Earl Jones died, they were
You said this last week, or
I
our last episode.
I know, but I'm gonna say it again because they said it. May she rest in peace, but they gone too. She was. What do you mean gone too soon? Just like, are we for real? I just will never understand it. So that's just what grinds my gears. Gone too soon. The person
Also, I wonder, like, how did, if those people were still alive, how did they feel about still being alive at this point? Were they still enjoying their life?
like,
Because that's really what matters.
I feel like Cicely Tyson, when she passed, she was like, finally. I was like,
Yeah, she was like, I've done all the things.
like, what is there left to do?
Yeah.
So rest in peace to these icons. Speaking of rest in peace, we also lost John Amos. And so R.I.P.
Yeah, so I found out about this through, we have an ERG at work, employee resource group for the Black employees and their allies, I guess. And someone posted that John Amos died and that he apparently died over a month ago, but we're just finding out, and more egregiously, some of his family is just finding out. And there's just a lot of mystery surrounding his death, including allegations of elder abuse. So I don't know what was going on. I believe he was 83 when he died. I hope that he had a good life. And I hope that there was nothing suspicious about his death. And I appreciate his contributions to television, film, and I know he inspired so many actors, generations.
Yeah, what a legend. What an icon. May he rest in peace as well.
Indeed. Did you hear that Ryan Murphy, like, the man doesn't stop working? He has a new legal drama coming out starring Glenn Close and Niecy Nash, Tiana Taylor, Naomi Watts, and apparently Kim K. And I believe Kim K also was in Ryan Murphy's one of his American horror stories. I don't watch that. It's too like gruesome for me. But he likes her and us put her in this legal drama that is called All's Fair. And she's apparently going to have a significant role in this series, which, like, wow, I guess she really is like cementing her status as an actress. Because this is a heavy hitter cast. This is not like Glenn Close, Sarah Paulson, Niecy Nash. These are not like chumps of like these actresses are esteemed and super talented. So we'll see if the show is good.
I mean, I think that it makes sense because she is a legal girly. I know she's in law school. I think she didn't pass the bar. I don't know. But
She did pass the bar.
oh, she did? So she's a lawyer?
Wait, did she pass the bar? I thought she finally passed it.
I don't think she did because we would know if she was a lawyer. Yeah, I think she didn't pass it, so she's taking the test again. I could be wrong, but I feel like we would have heard if she became a lawyer. It would have been big news because she would have proved, be like, haha, suckers. Because good for her. I think that it makes sense. Ryan Murphy, you are a part of his universe, you are a part of it forever, i.e. Niecy Nash, Sarah Paulson, they go together with Ryan Murphy real bad, and it just makes sense. So I like to see that. Did you hear about the other one that he's coming up with where story is going to star Jeremy Pope and Anthony Ramos, where there is a STI that makes you beautiful?
Wait, what is this called?
It is called, let me get it. I don't know what the name is. I just saw it online and I was like, what the hell is happening?
Is it that show The Substance?
No,
Or that's something else?
something completely different.
Okay.
That's not the same, but it's starring Anthony Ramos, excuse me, and Jeremy Pope. But it's basically going to be about when you get an STI, how it beautifies you. And I don't know. Ryan Murphy has a sick head. I would like to work with him one day, so I'm not going to say too much about him. But yes, that is what it's going to be about.
All right. Like I said, the man stays busy.
Booked and busy. Okay, don't play with him because he's gonna.
And
Good.
yeah, I agree. I looked it up and Kim passed the baby bar. I am not really sure what that is. So she passed something. Anyway, have you seen Connie Chung back on the scene promoting her new book, her memoir?
You're gonna be mad at me, but I don't know who Connie Chung is.
That's amazing.
I have no clue who that is.
Oh my gosh. So Connie Chung she's kind of like the Chinese Barbara Walters. So
She's Maury's wife?
yeah, she's Maury Povich's wife.
Are you kidding?
Or Maury Povich is her husband. They've been married forever.
What? Are you kidding? Wait, she looks familiar. Okay, I know who this is. Didn't she have a talk show?
I don't know that she had a talk show, but she had a news show. She's a journalist.
Oh yes, okay, I know who she is. Oh my gosh, she's married to Mark. Oh, this is it. This is an amazing dynamic.
This is what gets you. This is what gets you to know who she is.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. What a power couple. Wow.
And they seem, you don't know what goes on people's personal lives, but they seem like they really love each other.
I'm sorry, but if you go to her Instagram, the first thing that pops up is her talking about something, and the quotations say, I could see the sperm swimming in their eyes. What the hell is Connie?
I don't know. That's funny.
Okay, Connie. All right. No, I didn't see that, but am I going to go Read it? Probably not, because I haven't been a reader in a few years, but I might listen to it.
Well, I mean, I'm not, this is not really about her book. I'm mentioning that she's back on the scene because she's promoting the memoir. I don't know if I will read it either, but that's because I haven't been reading anything. But what I also wanted to point out is because she's so iconic as a groundbreaking female journalist in a time when it was really difficult for women to be treated seriously and to ascend. She, of course, made an impression on many people in Asian communities, especially Chinese. And there is a generation called Generation Connie of Asian girls and women who were named after Connie Chung. And there's a picture of her with them, some of them, in this New York Times article that I linked, and also I think on her Instagram. And it's just so touching. It's like, it just shows the power, again, not to be cliche, of representation, because some of these girls named Connie are also journalists now because they like took it seriously that they were named after her. So just thought that was cool.
I love that. Good for her. Go Connie Chung.
Yeah.
Well, geez, that's quite the roundup this week, sis.
Speaking of people back on the scene, Jaleel White of Family Matters fame. Most people probably know him by his character's name, Urkel, Steve Urkel. He wrote a memoir called Growing Up Urkel, which is being released on November 19th. And he was on the talking about his time growing up in Hollywood and being a child star and being so recognizable as Urkel, and that being like sticking with him for decades. And he said, again, speaking of representation, he would have Black men. He said, Black men, actually, any man who wore glasses would come up to me and say, man, you wearing glasses made it easier for me to wear glasses when I was growing up because it made it cool. I was like, yeah, you just never know, like, who you're impacting.
Mm-hmm. That's dope. I mean, did I do that? Everyone says that. I will randomly bust out saying that. So his impact is very, very strong.
Yeah.
Iconic. Iconic. I love that.
So for a Jen part of Pop and Jen, I came across this article in Upworthy. I like Upworthy because it tends to be positive news. And it says people born before 1990 are sharing their now useless but 100% nostalgic skills. And since you are just on the cusp of that, I wanted to go through a couple of these and see if you know anything about what I'm talking about. Making brown paper bag book covers. Did you ever make a brown paper bag book cover? Oh,
No.
yeah, we had to do that because we had to have book covers, and they weren't just like go on Amazon, order some book cover. So people would make them and then decorate them
Why do you need a book cover?
because you don't own the books that you get during the school year. They're borrowed, and you don't want to damage them.
Oh, I'm kidding. Yeah, we did. We did the stretchy ones. We had the fabric. We didn't have the paper. We didn't have the paper bags. We had the stretchy fabric for our books.
So you had a book cover, but you didn't have like the grocery bag that you cut apart and
Oh,
fold into. Yeah, it was basically like an arts and craft project.
that is so ghetto. No, we did not do that.
Hey, we were doing what we were doing the best we
Paper,
could.
that was why I would use wrapping paper before I used
Some people did, but wrapping paper rips too easily. Like, think about it. If you're putting like several books in your backpack that are wrapped with wrapping paper, that's going to tear. Like, a paper bag is sturdier. Anyway, how about do you memorize phone numbers?
I used to. I know every one of my immediate family's phone number, but anyone outside of it, sorry, I don't know your phone number. Because just in case of emergency, like I have to remember y'all's phone numbers.
And do you think the fact that most of us have had these phone numbers for probably 20 years helps with that?
Absolutely, because none of us change our phone numbers. So I've had the same phone number for 17 years, so I'm never changing it.
If I got a new phone number, do you think that
Oh,
you would memorize it?
no.
One more. Did you ever make a mixtape from the radio
No, but I did do it for voicemails.
or voicemails? What do
Like
you
I
mean?
would do I would do like remix like yo 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 it's Chantal. Thanks, sorry I missed your call. And I would have music play in the background. Like it could be like, music playing. I don't know. I would just remix music.
That's not the same thing.
But it's a version of it.
How is that a version of it?
You're making a remix. Like a mixtape?
You're not.
No, I was a
A mixtape is not a remix. You know what do you know what a mixtape
Oh
is?
yeah, I did do a mixtape. I did like if I had a crush on someone or whatever, I did LimeWire. I'm a LimeWire era.
That's okay. So that's my point. You did not have to you don't remember listening to the radio, waiting for a particular song to play, and then pressing record on either a cassette player or a cassette recorder or if you were lucky enough to have a burner.
No, that wasn't me.
Amazing. The daytime chat show on CBS. They had host fill in for Akbar this week. Different hosts each day. They had Tabitha Brown. They had Yvette Nicole Brown, unrelated as far as I know. And they had Ariana Madix. When I saw her on, I was like, oh, this is starting to become a really big running joke on this podcast because she literally is everywhere. And I'm just like, well, I can't not bring it up. So that was it.
Congrats to Yvette Nicole Brown, Tabitha Brown. So happy for them. Love them. I want nothing but the best for them. And congratulations to them on co-hosting the talk. That's super huge.
Let's see how it is.
Very happy for those two. Would love it. I want them to do nothing but greatness.
Everyone did very well and looked beautiful.
I'll leave that in Tabitha. They can do no wrong. Love them. Well, that's fun. I love that. Well, that's quite the roundup this week, sis. Now, let's get into some pop and gin deep dive.
I just have one deep dive this week. We kind of talked about this outside the podcast. I want to talk about fashion trends and how they skew toward the youngest generation. So whatever Gen Alpha, the 14, 0 to 14, I think that's Gen Alpha. Whatever they're wearing is considered the coolest, cutting edge. They somehow lead trends, followed by Gen Z and then millennials, and then anyone else is just not cool. Most clothing designers are not checking for us. They're not designing for us. They're not trying to market towards us. And so I don't know how to dress anymore. Between being 46 and the pandemic, I don't know how to dress anymore. We came out of the pandemic and there's a lot of leisure, athleisure and comfort stuff, sweatpants. And I you probably would agree with this. I was raised, we don't wear sweatpants and stuff out in public. So it really took a while for me to come around and just let go of the this is just a random social construct that you don't have to adhere to. And I still don't really wear sweatpants unless I'm quickly running to the grocery store. But anyway, crop tops are a big thing again. And everything is cropped. Jackets are cropped. Shirts are cropped. Button-down shirts are cropped. And I have had a battle with my waistline for most of my like life since I was aware that I had a waistline. And I wore crop tops when they were popular in like the late 90s and the early 2000s when I was okay with my waistline, especially like when I lost my college 15 or freshman 15. I would wear crop tops. And I had a lot more confidence, I think, when I was younger. As I got older, I just became more self-conscious. And now it just kind of like, I don't think you should have a limit on age as far as what you can wear, but it just feels kind of weird to like wear a crop top again. I don't know. How do you feel?
I love crop tops. I'm wearing 2 crop things.
I know you love a crop top, and I think it's great.
I love crop tops. I lost a lot of weight this past year, and so I'm now having a new relation with my body.
Yeah.
Something that I didn't ever think I could do, and so I've just embraced this new part of me, and I love crops. It makes me feel sexy.
But even before you lost all this weight, you were wearing crop tops, and I applaud you for like being comfortable wearing things that I personally don't feel comfortable wearing because I just in my head.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I think I just was just like, I'm wearing this for me. Like, I'm wearing it because it makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel sexy. It makes me, I think that from the perception for other people, like I used to dress for the people, but now I dress for me. I dress for my comfortability. I dress for my ease. I dress what makes me feel, good in my body. And when I wear crop tops, I don't know, it's just something so badass about it. And wearing like crop top and baggy jeans or baggy sweatpants, like I am going to run errands after this, and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to wear my crop top. To your point, I cringe if I even go to the mailbox in sweatpants because I just hear mom in my head being like, girl, where the hell are you going? So that's something that I still deal with internally, but I'm going to wear crop top and baggy jeans going to the store. And so I just find I love it. To your point, this is literally my, like crop top, everything that's my aesthetic, everything that you're just saying on a daily basis. And in Los Angeles, people wear nothing. People don't wear clothes. In Los Angeles, and you walk out in a bra and leggings. That will never be me because I just think there's just some levels of just like, I don't know, decency. I don't know. I just feel like that's where I've drawn a line. You'll never see me outside with a sports bra. But yeah, I think that it's just, I don't know, it makes me feel very comfortable. And I think it's the way you wear the crop top and baggy pants can be very sexy and cute.
Okay, so you're pro crop tops and baggy pants. Where do you stand on socks and the height of socks? There's a debate over
literally whoever they're talking shit about me because I wear the leggings with the socks all the way up, and with my sneakers. That's me. I
like up to where? Like mid calf, ankle,
up to your ankle, like you're past the ankle.
Okay. Because I think now people are talking about mid calf.
That's a bit too far.
Like it just keeps going a little bit higher, a little bit higher.
Stockings. You're wearing goddamn stockings. It's no longer socks. That's ridiculous. Put some damn stockings on and call it a day. That's too high. Like right under the calf is where I stop.
Okay. Yeah, I think those are ankle socks.
Yeah, ankle socks. So I wear those because I am a gym girly now, and I go to gym. I wear my leggings and I wear my ankle socks.
Cute.
It's really cute. It's so LA, and I used to be the one to judge those girlies, but now I am that girly, so I've embraced it.
As you know, I also lost a significant amount of weight this year, and I'm feeling good or better about my body, working out as well. And I ordered some exercise crop tops. I'm gonna dip my toe back in the crop top water with the exercise, with the fitness wear.
I love that. I just love fitness wear. It just makes me feel comfortable, especially when it's cute and it doesn't look crazy. Like I like that cute. I like when the girlies wear like the sports bra with the leggings, but they have the jacket over it. That's cute. But when I see people just bra out at the grocery store, I'm like, can you save something for like illusion? I don't know. I just feel like you're not at the gym right now. What are we doing?
I just really applaud their boldness and their confidence.
Girl, I can see her areolas. Like, that's what I mean. Not the girls who are just like, oh, I have to run, but like the ones who literally got out, got the goods on full display.
You don't want to see areola next to the mangoes?
I know. I would like to get my
Yeah.
piece without seeing your titties. And that's all I have to say. More power to you, women, girl empowerment. I'm not saying that at all. Love who you are, embrace your body, but there just are some limits that we just have to take in consideration.
I don't know if I agree, but I do think that I can see how it's jarring. You go to the grocery store and you're like, I'm just going to pick up some coffee beans and then veg.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up this segment, I wanted to ask if you remember, speaking of trends repeating, like crop tops, Doc Martens are huge now.
You always talk about this. They're gonna keep coming back. They're gonna keep resurging. You haven't
Regurgitating?
I meant to say resurging. You know what the hell I meant. You always talk about Doc Martens.
And what do I say about, like, what's the story behind it?
They're researching, and new people are discovering them. They're timeless shoes.
That's not where this is going. Excuse me, know-it-all. Remember when you came to visit me when I lived in LA, walking down Melrose, and they have a Doc Martens store, and this was like 20 years ago, I think, and you were like,
It's like 16 years ago.
okay, like that's really that much difference?
40 years. You're aging us.
Okay, 16 years ago, we're walking down Melrose, they have a dedicated Doc Martens store, and you were like, you really want Doc Martens and you hope that you get some. I think you wanted some for Christmas or your birthday. And you were like everyone is wearing these. And you were saying it to me like you were schooling me on something. And I was like, yeah, I went to high school in the 90s and I was into the grunge scene and I'm very familiar with Doc Martens, even though I never had a pair because they're so expensive. And you were like you were just so like floored by this information. So I always think about that when I see like the regurgitation of Doc Martens.
Well, I love Doc Martens. I have yet to own a pair. I've worn some before, but they're also very heavy shoes to wear. Like you have to really break them in. So I think that's why I don't own them. But they're really cute. Well, great stuff this week as always. It's time for our last segment, On Our Screens and Through Our Earbuds. Okay, so I'm starting with what's on my screen lately, and I just have two quick hits. My first one is Nobody Wants This, starring Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. It is I think it's 10 episode series about these two people who meet each other, and they just have this spark. This guy, Adam Brody's character, just came out of a long-term relationship, and you just see what clear communication looks like. You see what it's like for them to be very direct, very understanding of each other, what it's like to know what you want and being of a certain age and at a certain place in your career and not beating around the bush. And as someone who's currently dating, I just found it was very, very, very reassuring and beautiful to see that, okay, this is something that exists and that people are talking about. And I just think that, one, the humor is hilarious. I think the banter between Kristen Bell, she's a delight in the show. Even her husband, Dak Shepard, said that the chemistry between her and Adam Brody was really insane. But yeah, I really like this show and I hope there's a season 2.
What made you want to watch this?
Netflix suggested it.
It just doesn't seem like your usual show that you would choose.
I just kept hearing people talk about it and I was like, oh, okay, well, what is this show people keep talking about? And then I watched the first episode. It hooks you immediately because Kristen Bell is a comedic queen. Like, she is really, really funny, and she's really good at this. Just the comedic timing is just really good. So it helped me. And as a Capricorn with ADHD, you have about 5 minutes to get my attention. And out the bat swinging, the show it captures you. And so that's what did it for me. It was suggested. It was rated like number 1 or 2.
Okay.
I was like, oh, let me check it out. And it immediately got my attention. And I binge watched it in one day.
Oh.
And I even watched it again. So yeah, it's really good.
You sold me when you told me that there was some comedy involved. I should have known because of Adam Brody. But yeah, it sounds great. I am going to check that out. I saw him being interviewed, I think on like Access Hollywood, and they were reading tweets, or I don't know if they call them on X now. shitters. I don't know. They were reading them from fans, and one woman was like, 20 years ago, I was watching Adam Brody and crushing on him on the OC. And here I am 20 years later at 34, crushing on Adam Brody in a Netflix show.
And he looks great. They both look
He
fantastic.
does. Yeah, they do.
In their early 30s, both of them. So good for them for keeping that fountain of youth and staying unproblematic. That's what happens when you're an unproblematic white person. God lets you age gracefully. So good for them. And then my second show that I'm watching is Love is Blind season 7. Just when I think each season gets more unhinged, no. We see the biggest narcissist gaslighter ever on this season. His name is Leo. He's insane. I'm convinced he murdered his family. He lost his mom, dad, and grandma in a matter of like 2 years. But like he keeps on talking about the fact that he has a Rolex, he has so much money, that the women he dates, he doesn't want them to want him for his money. And I'm like, I'm convinced you killed your family. And then there is this 26-year-old girl named Hannah who is also just not ready to date. And I don't think she should be on a show about marriage when she doesn't even know who she is yet. That aside, we have 3 Black couples. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but we have a beautiful amount of Black representation in this season. And I am obsessed with the end result of who ends up together. It's only 6 episodes in, and it's going to have another series of episodes released next week, well, this week actually, and so we'll be able to see them like unfold on their honeymoon after getting married. But yes, it is so good. Oh, not getting married, but getting engaged. But yes, it's so good. This season keeps you on your toes, and yeah, whoever does the casting for this show does a fantastic job because they've had lawsuits. This season is really good.
Oh, okay.
That's last season, because it was a season I didn't give a damn about.
All right, let's clarify.
This season, the casting is fantastic. Really good.
Great.
Mainly because there's multiple Black people. That's why I said that. Am I worthy? Am I going to be loved? Girl, you are so worthy and you're a badass bitch. And you deserve nothing but good things. And I'm happy you don't have to be upset this season, because I'm very pleased with how the Black girls are treated this season. I will say that.
Girl.
But yeah, that's what's got my attention lately. How about you, Tish?
I have one main show that captured my attention, or I shouldn't say show. It's a documentary on Netflix called Love on the Run. It's about the corrections officer, Vicky White, who helped the prisoner Casey White escape. And I first heard about this story. It took place in 2022, or like the main event took place in 2022, the escape. I heard about it through a Lifetime movie. I don't remember like hearing about it in the news. And the Lifetime movie was pretty good. I think it starred Wendy McClendon Covey. Wendy McClendon Covey, I think is how you say her name. Anyway, so the story is Vicky White. She's like a lonely, unassuming, middle-aged corrections officer in Alabama. She is a star employee at this detention center. She's been there for like 20 years. And she falls in love with this sounds like sociopathic man, Casey White, who's 10 years younger than she, and had a record since juvie, or since he was a juvenile. And as an adult, he was charged with shooting at his girlfriend and killing her dog in the process. And I think he was already convicted for something else and serving 75 years. And then he was at this detention center to face charges for killing the dog and for attempted murder. So they fell in love. I don't know how he felt. I think he's a sociopath, so I don't think he felt anything. I think he conned her, and she helped him escape.
Yeah, I thought this was wild. And yeah, that was a crazy story. Whew. Insane. I could have gone my whole life without hearing the Matt phone sex. That was,
oh my God. Because they, of course they're listening in if they're making calls from the jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yuck.
It just kind of goes back to what we talked about when we were talking about how to die alone and loneliness. People will do sometimes
have companionship.
Yeah.
And look what ended up happening. So sad.
Don't spoil it.
They'll see, they watch it.
Yeah, it was good. It was easy to consume documentary. I thought they did a good job. And then I just want to give a shout out real quick to I'm catching up on Abbott Elementary, so I finished season 3 because I had some episodes to catch up on. I love the episodes Smoking and Party. I think they're probably like top 5. So shout out to Abbott Elementary. Can't wait for season 4. Watch it. All right, let's move on to sounds through our earbuds. What you got? Did I say earbuds? I meant earbuds. Through our earbuds. What you got this week, sis?
Oh, I'm listening to Victoria Monet and Sabrina Carpenter's. Victoria Monet just came out with a deluxe album. It's fantastic. I love her. And Sabrina Carpenter, I listened to because I feel like she's everywhere and I was like forced to listen to her because she's actually really, really talented and really good. I'm obsessed with Bed Kim. I think it's fantastic. I will die on this that it is an interpolation of So Into You by Tamia. So shout out to her paying tribute to an R&B icon. But yes, that's what I'm listening to now on repeat. I love my R&B and pop girlies. They're really taking over. And yes, that's what I've got this week. And they are so, 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 so good.
Did you listen to the whole Sweet and Sour album? Sabrina Carpenter?
No, not all of it. I'm still going through it. But because I keep repeating the same songs over and over again. So I haven't gotten through all of it.
A coworker recommended Juno and Coincidence, I believe was the song.
Oh, I like Juno. That's a good one.
Yeah. It's a very eclectic album. I appreciate that.
Thank you. She's very talented. You can tell she grew up in the church or has some type of R&B inspiration because she gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm listening to. What about you, sis?
I've been kind of musically disinterested lately. Even when I open the Sirius app, I feel like all the stations. I know all the songs, even the new ones. Like, please play something new. Anyway, so podcasts for me, this roundup. Higher Learning is a podcast I listen to regularly. The hosts are Ben Lathan and Rachel Lindsay. They are 2 Black elder millennials. And Van has a sister who's a lesbian. And I thought it was really interesting. They were talking about Boosie and how he has a lesbian adult daughter who he says he loves, but he hates her sin and doesn't want to have her around her younger siblings to infect them with her sinful lifestyle. It's trash. So they started talking about how sad it is when parents treat their children like that who are part of the LGBT community. And Van's father passed away the year after, or 2021, I think. And he has mixed feelings about his dad, but ultimately he reveres his dad. And he said, I don't know how my dad and my sister related with her being a lesbian and my dad having very socially conservative viewpoints as a Black man. And Rachel was like, why don't you call her and ask her? So they call her. Her name is Ebony. And they say, Ebony, just so you know, you're on the podcast. And Dan's like, hey, sis. And they do the usual sibling, you suck, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. How did dad respond to you being a lesbian? And it was a very heartfelt, unplanned and impromptu, 2-minute vulnerability spill where she said basically that she knows that he loved her, but he did not want to acknowledge that part of her. He didn't want to spend time with her partner. Her partner had children. Her longtime partner had children. He didn't want to meet them. He didn't want her to talk about them. He didn't want her to talk about dating. And she said she just learned to shut that part of her life off. And she said, I loved him, but he was very complicated. And I could tell that really hurt Van to hear about his dad. But I think it also speaks to how different relationships siblings can have with their parents. So shout out to them. Highly recommend it. It's the episode, I think, from Monday, the 29th of September. And then also my last one is I finally listened to Giggly Squad. I talked about that podcast in the last episode. It's Hannah Berner and Paige DeSorbo's podcast that is very successful. They take it on the road, and apparently they do really well because they sell out. It's fun. I really enjoy it. But oh my God, I caught a stray when they were talking about, because they talk about all kinds of random stuff. They said, yeah, sometimes like my mom says funny things. Like moms say things like they answer the phone and they say, "This is she," and they're like, "Who says that?" I was like, "Oh my God, I say that. Is that I'm not anyone's mom, but I am mom age. Like, is that a mom thing?" I was just raised like that's if someone calls and asks for me, I say, "This is she." What do other people say? Very common, so don't feel bad. Is it just the younger like the?
I think it's a very common thing. I don't think it has anything to do with moms. I think they just probably associate it with their moms because they don't do it themselves. But I say that myself. So
I know you do, because I feel like we're just taught to have manners, like about certain, cultural niceties. So anyway, I'm still gonna listen and watch because it's a visual podcast. But like, oh snap! So those are my two for this week.
Oh, fun. So much fantastic things to listen to and to watch. I don't know how I'll find time to get to it all, but I'm going to try. All right, y'all. And with that, we're at the end again.
Aww.
Sadly, it's time to say goodbye, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. If you want to be notified about new episodes, see our recommendations, and fun other stuff, follow us on Instagram at CrossGen Sisters. You can email us at crossgensisters@gmail.com. And if you like the podcast, help us grow it by following, rating, reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get or listen to your podcast. Also, tell your sisters, brothers, friends, cousins, and everyone else that you love about us. Thanks for listening, y'all. Thanks. Love you, sis.
Love you, sis.